To our last panelist, who is the youngest panelist. She's Marina from the youth panel, from the Greek youth panel. She's 17 years and she has been a member of the Greek youth panel for a number of years, actively supporting the activities of the Greek Safer Internet Center. She helped also with the creation of videos addressing a variety of issues like cyberbullying and the right to report, and she has participated in the activities of the European BEC Youth Panel. Marina.
Thank you so much. As we mentioned, I am Marina. I'm 17 years old and I've been an active member of the Safer Internet Greek Youth Panel for about 4 years now. First of all, I want to thank everyone for their contribution today. Everything was very interesting and important. I want to say that I'm very glad to be given this chance and opportunity to share my thoughts on the matter that we're touching on today, which is, of course, online violence, and more specifically, the apparent gender gap that exists. Today I want to try and share my perspective and experience on that matter as a teenager, and more specifically, a teenage girl living on a country that I think is pretty heavily influenced by that gender gap. I live in Greece. This observation is, of course, derived also from a research that was performed last year by the Safer Internet Center in my country that showed that out of the 10 to 18-year-olds asked, most of them had already experienced online harassment, and the grand majority of them were actually female. They were young girls. But in order not to stall, I think what actually has to be done to cope with this issue is to target straight to the society's core values. What I'm trying to say, that's from my experience, when we're trying to talk to people my age, like 16 to 18-year-olds that have already kind of formed and shaped their online identities, it's not impossible, but harder to change their mentality. That's why I think that digital literacy and education has to be offered from a very young age, before children are exposed to the online world on their own, and even before they have completely formed both their online and offline mentality. Because in order to really incorporate these actions to their lifestyle, they should really adopt and assimilate them. In my opinion, that can only be done if this education is also provided by the school curriculum, as I think Mrs. Maria previously mentioned. This is because I think, from my experience, school is what actually has shaped me and still does. That's why I think that the Safer Internet Centers, they should work together with the Ministry of Education in every case, and offer this digital literacy both straight to students, but to teachers, to my teachers as well, because I think what's very important, and I want to highlight here, is that this education should not only be offered once or once a year, but it should be something consistent, repetitive, and continuous. And if teachers are in a place to provide this information to their students by utilizing some material that we can give them, that's the only way this consistency can be achieved. Of course, this education that we can offer and the digital literacy will be focused on shaping their mentalities and online actions in the future, but it should also be about what online harassment is and how children can recognize it when they experience it or they see someone else experience it, and actually report that and not underestimate it, and give the enough attention and the appropriate attention that it actually deserves. Also, another thing that maybe we should touch on is that we should cope with the remnants of the patriarchal perceptions that our societies maybe still hold, in my country at least, because it's something that actually prevents us from mending this gender gap. So thank you so much for your attention, and at this point I want to especially thank David, Karuna, Maria, Juliana, who are fighting for my and my friends and every girl's in the world and woman's better online life. And thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. So now we'll go on